Alright, your voices have been heard, and for this next Pokemon Go Mythbusters, I decided to tackle the new theory about the Eevee Evolutions. Now, I know as far as Reddit is concerned, and a lot of other people are concerned, it is apparently confirmed 100%. But, like some of you, especially anybody watching this video, you could have a whole bunch of people say that something is true, but without any proof, it's kind of hard to take it as such, especially considering there's already been quite a few different theories in the past on how to evolve Eevees, which ended up in disaster for those who've attempted it, such as Eevees evolving based off of which team owns a certain gym, based off their color, as far as what moveset they might have, and so on. So I decided to go ahead and put this to the test. And the best way of doing so is kind of just taking some of the numbers into account. And what I mean by that is because the fact that Eevee has 3 different evolutions, at least in the first gen, you have Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Flareon, you have roughly about a 33% chance of getting any one of those once you try to evolve your Eevee. So I went ahead and created a controlled experiment to really kind of put this claim to the test the best way possible, by giving it the highest failure rate possible. And the way I did that is, for starters, I went around asking as many people, either locally or even online as possible, what their first evolution for their Eevee was and whether or not they tried the naming trick. The people who tried the naming trick were kind of disqualified as part of this research. What I really wanted to know is what the most common of the 3 evolutions most people got. It was interesting to find out that Jolteon apparently was the most common evolution, coming in a very close second being Vaporeon, and Flareon, for whatever reason, being the least common first evolution that people were getting. So even though the statistical average would be 33% to get a specific type that you wanted, it seems more like it's a matter of it being 37% for getting a Jolteon or Vaporeon and only 25% for actually getting a Flareon. So it seemed like luck and numbers kind of came into play. And when I went to evolve my first 2 Eevees, I got a Jolteon and a Vaporeon without having to do any kind of changing to the name. And for those of you who don't know, the newest claim is that to get the specific evolution that you want from Eevee, you have to go ahead and give it a nickname, which is based off of an episode of the Pokemon anime. It's actually the 40th episode, known as the Battling Eevee Brothers. And each of those brothers went by a specific name, and that's the nickname you have to give to the Eevee to get it to evolve into a specific kind. So you have Rainer for Vaporeon, you have Sparky for Jolteon, and you have Pyro for Flareon. There is a stipulation to this claim though, and that's that you will only get the specific type that you want by nicknaming it the very first time. So, as per example, if we want to go ahead and get a Flareon, if we name it Pyro, it's only going to work the first time. As to where if we try to name another Eevee Pyro again to try and get another Flareon, it will not work. Which kind of made the whole claim a little bit more far-fetched. So yeah, given that apparently Flareon is the least common first evolution, I've taken 3 accounts, my friend Nate's account, my wife's account, and the secondary account that I created to help make my Pokemon Go in-depth trainer's guide. And with those 3 accounts, none of them have ever evolved any of the Eevees. So the idea is to name each of these Eevees Pyro, and on the very first time getting an evolution to try and get a Flareon. Given again the statistical probability, it has the least likely chance of being a Flareon on all 3 accounts, unless the trick actually works. And so, the moment of truth. So I'm actually surprised that this trick is confirmed to work. Again, numbers can easily come into play. I mean, it could be a matter of luck that all 3 accounts that just so happen to have Pyro were made into Flareons, but given the fact that, again, the possibility of it failing was so high, and all it takes is just one of them not to work to disprove this and count this as a myth, again, it seemed highly unlikely, and this worked. So yeah, I'd say this is confirmed. If you want a specific Eevee, go based off this method, but just keep in mind that, again, it's only going to work for that one time for each one, and also you need to make sure that it is case sensitive, so you need to do the capital first letter, and then you need to spell it exactly as it's written for it to work. And that does it for this session of Pokemon Go Mythbusters. If there's any other myths out there you want me to go ahead and try, make sure to go ahead and tell me in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and until next time. Let's just hope that OtterBox really protects my phone like it's supposed to. Let's see if we can see any real difference.